Hello, this is Universe and I'm an 8th grade student at Bangsamoro Asia in Seogwipo, Treasure Island. I've always had a deep interest in international relations, social sciences, and international studies, especially in the interactions between the East and the West during the 17th century and their long-term impact. Through both school classes and personal research, I've discovered many fascinating historical facts that I'd love to share with a wider audience, and that's why I decided to start this YouTube channel. On this channel, I'll be creating a series of videos exploring major historical topics such as the Meiji Restoration, Rangaku, also known as Dutch learning, modern education, and imperialism. During last spring break, I traveled to Nagasaki, Japan for my personal research. Although Japan enforced a strict isolationist policy in the 17th century, Nagasaki was the only place that maintained trade with the Dutch. It served as the gateway through which Western knowledge entered Japan via Rangaku. While exploring Nagasaki, I learned that the Western science and ideas introduced through Rangaku in the 17th century laid a crucial foundation for Japan's modernization during the Meiji Restoration in the 19th century. That realization inspired me to dive deeper into the Meiji Restoration. So, what is the Meiji Restoration? The Meiji Restoration was a major political and social revolution in Japan that overthrew the centuries-old Tokugawa shogunate and transformed the country into a centralized emperor-led state. During this period, Japan rapidly adopted Western-style modernization, reforming its legal system, social structure, local governance, economy, education, industry, and diplomacy. Since the Meiji Restoration is such a vast topic, this video will focus on its background only. So, in the next episode, I'll explore how Rangaku influenced this transformative era. Background of the Meiji Restoration. The Meiji Restoration was not triggered by a single event, but by a complex combination of multiple factors. Here are 5 key elements. First, pressure from Western powers. In 1853, Commodore Perry of the United States arrived in Japan with his black ships, demanding the country open its ports to foreign trade. This led to the signing of unequal treaties and marked Japan's entry into the international community. Second, decline of the shogunate. The Tokugawa shogunate, which had ruled Japan for about 260 years, weakened due to internal economic struggles and rising foreign pressure. Influential domains like Satsuma and Joshu began to challenge its authority and called for reform. Third, economic hardship and social discontent. In the late Edo period, farmers suffered from crop failures and heavy taxation. Meanwhile, the merchant class grew wealthy but remained politically powerless. These issues fueled growing dissatisfaction with the existing system. Fourth, the rise of the Sonojoi movement. Rebuild the emperor, expel the barbarians. This ideology, which called for loyalty to the emperor and rejection of foreign influence, gained momentum nationwide. Although initially anti-Western, it gradually evolved into a pro-modernization movement embracing Western knowledge. Fifth and finally, the rise of new regional powers. Satsuma and Joshu adopted Western military technology and industrial practices, building strong forces that eventually overthrew the Tokugawa regime. The Meiji Restoration was driven by Western pressure, a weakening shogunate, social unrest, new political ideas, and rising new powers. It transformed Japan into a centralized empire under the emperor and launched rapid modernization and Westernization. In the next video, I'll dive deeper into the connection between the Meiji Restoration and Rangaku, what the Japanese called Dutch learning. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next video. Bye!